I love to cook and I love homegrown herbs. They're an essential part of my garden. When I first set up my nursery in Melbourne, I made sure I had a public space at the entrance that was always open for people to enjoy. It needed to be useful and beautiful. There's only a small strip of garden bed running alongside the footpath, but it's the perfect spot for our street's herb garden. I get a lot of pleasure watching my neighbours come home from work, pick some herbs to cook for dinner that night. Now, my strip might be able to feed the street, but it's not going to be able to feed all of you. So I'm going to give you a few basic tips on how to create your own kitchen herb garden. And if you're like us in the inner city and you don't have a lot of space, then pots are the answer. It's important to make sure the pot you plant into is big enough. Too often people select way too small a pot for their herbs and there's just not enough root volume, so they will struggle once they really get growing. I planted up this old blue pot with stunning new golden oregano and some beautiful dwarf marigolds, which are great for salad garnish. Look at the pot, it's a generous size, and what a show. There's a bit of Bollywood right there. I couldn't believe my luck when I found this old cattle trough on the side of the road. God knows what it was doing there, but it's a gorgeous rustic old vessel. And when we plant it up with our kitchen herbs, it's going to be a beautiful feature in the courtyard, and I think you'll agree, the size is plenty generous enough. I like to plant up into a blend of potting mix and organic manures. This one has cow, fowl, sheep, and even worm castings, and I like to use a ratio of 70% potting mix to 30% manures. It's basically your steak and 3 veg for plants. I'm planting some golden oregano next to the purple sage, which is a great contrast with the basil. We'll put in some Italian parsley and some little white wild strawberries to fall over the front of the trough. And how about a bit of lemongrass for some height? And some pansies for colour. Again, use them as a garnish. They look great on a plate. Now some fish and kelp emulsion. The combination of these two organic products will give amazing results. It's a bit like Pilates for plants. It helps build their core strength and enables all of those tiny roots to take up the nutrients. It does this by activating the many useful minerals and microbes in your soil. You shouldn't then need to use chemicals for spraying because a healthy, well-fed plant is disease and pest resistant. In fact, why not use it on the whole garden? Well, there you have it, a beautiful rustic kitchen garden for your courtyard. And with weather like this, you'll be picking beautiful, lush, organic herbs in no time, enough to feed you and your street.